As the digital asset ecosystem continues to grow, so do the questions surrounding regulation and crypto as a long-term investment. Joining us to discuss it all is Kevin O'Leary, Chairman at O'Leary Ventures. Kevin, great to have you back.
Great to be here, thank you.
Well, listen, let's break right in here. TikTok, news from you yesterday. Share with us if you could.
As you know, in the most remarkable outcome of congressional law, a law was passed that has basically given TikTok till January 19th to sell. The concerns about foreign adversaries, spyware, a lot of people don't use TikTok for those concerns, and finally Congress brought it to the point to where the Indians got to 5 years ago. They banned it in India, so we don't know what's going to happen, but because one of the options for the company is to be able to sell it into domestic ownership, I want to buy it. And so one of the options I thought would be very interesting is so many of my companies are entrepreneurial and use TikTok to advertise. In fact, over 6 million companies do that. That's where the majority of the revenue comes from. I want to ask them, would you be interested in becoming equity shareholders with me down the road if the deal ever happens? So I don't know. There's no terms. The company's litigating Congress, which I find an extraordinary outcome. So we have no idea what this will be, but because it's such a short time frame, I'd like to get organized by asking people, are you interested? And fortunately, there is law that allows me to do that in equity crowdfunding. I'm proud that, in the Jobs Act, they had the vision to democratize ownership. And this is what I'm doing, and so I've asked anybody that's interested to go to wondertiktok.com.
Wondertiktok.com.
Exactly.
There it is.
There it is, and register your interest. Tell me if you're interested and to what extent you're interested and how much you would invest if you could. I have no idea what the terms are yet, and I disclose all that. But I think there's going to be a lot of interest in this because it's such a controversial situation. And I have no idea the outcome, and nor does anybody else, but this is the one thing I do know. I believe it will require the pen of the executive, who's ever the President of the United States, to get this deal done. We've never had a case like this, ever.
Absolutely love it. So much to cover, but I have to applaud you on the creativity, the use of the Jobs Act, solving for a national issue at the same time, and really democratizing wealth creation and returning the power of social media to the individuals who are participating.
I think it should be that way, particularly for TikTok. I want to make TikTok wonderful again.
You heard that first here on FinTech TV. Let's jump to WonderFi.
Yeah.
Share with me, you love what's going on over there, one of the biggest players in Canada.
Yeah.
Give us a little detail.
Well, you touched on it. You talked about the emergence of crypto in the market, what's occurring now. We know we've got the Bitcoin ETF, that was first. Now we know we're going to get the Ethereum ETF. And so we're opening up financial services to the crypto market. The day of the crypto cowboy is over. All of the pioneers have arrows in their backs or are in prison, and that happened. Or both, and that happened pretty quickly. But now that we've got to the place where the financial sector of the S&P is interested in using crypto for payment systems and storage of wealth and assets like Bitcoin, we have to make it compliant. So I'm looking for countries that have already gone through what we're going through here in the U.S. I mean, the SEC is still litigating. There's still a case they've got against Binance, and that they're still litigating with Coinbase. I can't invest in those situations. I have to remain compliant. I don't want in any way to be a conflict with the regulator. So I'm going to countries where they've already resolved that. And in Canada, under the OSC, which is akin to the SEC in that country, WonderFi has become the largest player in crypto. They have over 1.6 million accounts. They're a public company, and I'm a shareholder in that. And I'm a long-term believer in crypto and the platforms. Eventually they'll integrate with the Canadian banks is my hope. And just as the same way banks here want to get integrated into crypto. So that's happened in that country. In another country it's occurring, in the United Arab Emirates, M2 has emerged. I'm a shareholder there too. Why? 100% compliant.
So you touched on a couple of things, and we could talk for days on this. But, Kevin, you talked about kind of this next phase, right? It's almost crypto 2.0 regulation. It's a bit of the evolution that we're seeing here, and really the use cases that are embracing regulation are going to be the winners. And I'd love to segue as we close out. We got about a minute here. The political landscape in the U.S. is changing. kind of as we speak in regard to
Right.
crypto. Give me your take on that.
Well, both candidates, both Biden and Trump, have spoken positively about crypto now because they know their constituents, the next generation of voters, is interested in the asset class. So they're wise to do that. They know that Gensler, although he's unpopular with some crypto people, he's been consistent. I have to hand it to him on that. He has not changed his
Has not
view.
wavered.
Not wavered, and many of the cases he's brought, he's won, and people are getting the joke. He's got a position, and if you want to work with him, you got to sit with his staff and work it out. And I think that's the right way to be. And so now that we've got this movement, now that we've got these ETFs, now there's so much interest in these assets, I think the next phase is going to be one by one. I think stable coins could be next, digital payment systems. Integrating it in with financial services on a compliant basis is a great investment opportunity for me, and many other investors feel the same way. So I applaud both these candidates at least addressing the issue.
Well, Kevin, always amazing to have you here with it. I feel like we just got a little primer. We'll have to have another conversation and follow on and have you back real soon.
Great to be here. This is special space in here. I love it.
Really, this is it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks again, Kevin.
Thank you.
Always
Really
a
enjoyed
pleasure.
it.